Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Hello and welcome dear skilled modelers to my small hobby YouTube channel. My name is Tomo and today I'm going to be showing you an RC car. Yes, you heard me correctly, an RC car. Technically this still falls into a scale modeling hobby, but just barely. So what kind of an RC thing do I have? Well, this thing. Alrighty then. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Renault Alpine. It's a racing car that was introduced in the 70s, and it is pretty damn awesome. This thing also comes in a scale model form in a 1/24th scale, and I wanted to show that too, but I forgot to take it home with me. This thing is beautiful. I love this car, I love the aesthetic, and this year the car got a makeover, and you can see that makeover on Grand Tour if you're into cars and stuff, so it's a really good one. Because I'm a bit of a purist, I've chosen this color for the main body. It's a PS16 color. It's metallic blue and it's beautiful. And you cannot mix the PS with a TS. See, this is a TS. These are two different paints. One is for plastic, for you know, your average scale modeler, plastic models and cars and stuff. And this is for RC cars. It's specifically designed to be more elastic and durable. And it is made for this kind of applications. So, and then you have of course AS as well, but I don't have that one. The AS from TAMIYA is basically your aviation paint, so you know. If some of you might have been asking yourself, well, Tomo, what about your Spitfire? Well, I've been procrastinating the hell out of that build. Behold, the aircraft. It's been painted. Yes, I finally did it this week, because I really want to finish this, because I want to build the car thingy, and it's coming along nicely. I had to just wait until this whole thing dries because I gave it 2 clear coats, so it will be shiny and smooth for the application of the decals. And after that, I'm just going to do a light weathering on it, and I'll be done. And of course I'll show the video process of me building it, and I still have to do some touch-up because, you know, stuff happened, because I'm a little bit of a noob sometimes. But anyway, it's coming along and I will build it shortly. So I'm hoping that the next week video is going to be the build video for this aircraft, but I'm not promising anything. Anyway, back to this thing. It's a Renault Alpine in 1/10th scale. It is completely disassembled car, which you have to assemble, and that is why I think it fits into the scale modeling universe. It has a motor, an electric motor, brushed motor. It also comes with a ECU, which is kind of interesting, and a bunch of parts to be assembled. For completion of this model, you also need batteries, a remote control, and a receiver. If you go with a motor that comes with this kit, you will probably need nickel metal hydride batteries, 7.2 volts. 1 would be enough, but 2 is better. Also, you need a charger, which goes without saying. If you want to spice things up a little bit, TAMIYA gives you some options to tune up. You can also buy some extra parts, aluminium parts, and bearings. Yes, bearings are very important. This kit has plastic bearings, which sucks. So I will be replacing the plastic bearings with metal bearings. Yes. You can also replace the plastic motor mount with the aluminum one. You can also replace plastic steering post with aluminum. You can buy better suspension parts, universal shafts in metal, and reinforced axles. Oh, and one more thing. I completely forgot. You need a servo motor to turn the wheels. I think we have endured enough rambling from my part. Now it's time to open the box and look at the parts. How exciting is that? Behold. Right, it's a pretty big box. It's a really thick box. It's like, ooh, see, hand height, if you can say it. I can, so I will. And see, includes an electric forward and reverse speed controller. All right. And this little badge says it's Renault approved. So, let's take a look inside. And here it is. It's just a big old plastic body covered in foil because it's already scraped on the top because of the handling. And then we got parts. Tons and tons of parts. And let's look at them now, shall we? Inevitably, you get some chrome pieces like with every TAMIYA kit, and these chrome pieces are no exceptions, although these are pretty big. This is of course the headlights and the front spotlights, or fog lights if you will. Then you get some bumper trim, which of course you have to paint in chrome color, and matching these is going to be a challenge, but it's a scale model, so let's move on. We have the bottom of the car. It's a big, thick plastic base, really thick plastic, and it has a little sprue thingy that you have to cut out, probably with more thick pliers. This is just the body portion, and then we have the motor assembly, not actually the motor assembly, but the housing and the motor mount, which goes on the back. Then we have some, I believe, front portions of the car, and this is the part that holds the battery inside. This little two screws go in here inside, and some, at least these are supposed to be some plastic bearings, I think, or distancers anyway. Then we have more body panels and even more shiny plastic, black. I don't really know what everything is until I start building it, but you get the general idea what you get. See here, even more shiny little black plastic, and even more shiny black plastic. These two things are a little bit different. These are more of a softer plastic. They're still shiny, but it's much softer. Look at that. You can just bend this with your hand. And this is where the body sits, and this is actually where the shock absorbers live. Yes, you have to assemble the shocks too. And then this front bumper thingy. But this is just a very flexor. See, nice bit of plastic. So let's look at the other stuff. So we got the wheels. You get 4 wheels, rims, nice. And then of course you have the 2 sets of tires. And you have to be careful with these two. One goes on the back, one goes on the front. The reason that they're packed in 2 separate bags is because one is softer than the other. The softer, I think, goes onto the back, and the harder goes onto the front. The tires are absolutely fantastic. Look at that. And here it is. TAMIYA. You got a little logo here. Fantastic. And you also get these little foamy things that go all around the rim, and they actually fill up the body of the tire inside so that it is more like a normal tire. If you are not familiar with that, that's how they do it, because you clearly can't blow this tire up just like you would a normal tire. As you can see from the video, you got some servo thingies that you put on the top of the servo that manipulates the turning motion of the car. Then you got all sorts of bolts and nuts and these little crappy bearings. You see the white things? There are plastic white bearings. These suck balls because inevitably friction will cause them to melt. So that is why I'm going to opt for a metallic bearing set. And you don't have to kind of use TAMIYA's set, although you will get all the bearings you need. You can buy other bearings from other models as long as they're the same diameter. So yeah. Then we have some other screws and some clips for the chassis, and some strip. I think this is for battery, or no, this is actually for holding in the ECU. And some springs for the suspension, and yeah, this is still some suspension parts and still those crappy bearings. You get a DC motor. It's probably the cheapest one you can get because it really turns really quickly. in really freely, so you know it's not that, it's probably not that powerful anyway, but you get it. You get some gears for the transmission box, and actually that's just the gears for the motor thingy. This little beauty comes with this kit, and this is the speed controller. Yes, and it's a good one because, as you might see, there are many cables here. And the reason that is many cables here is because, ladies and gentlemen, this thing can control a standard motor like I have here. So you only need what I think it's the wait a minute, I think it's these two wires. Or if you want to jazz things up and buy yourself a brushless motor, you can also use all three wires along with this communication cable that goes in this little socket here, and it connects the motor up to this thing and it just runs the way it's supposed to. So that's super cool because this usually costs quite a lot. These are the decals, the huge decals that go on the outside of the car, and you know, you get all this stuff and some masking for the windows. The assembly instruction manual here, and then of course you can just look right through here. This little kid, you know. Before you assemble the kit, please read the instructions. Yes, Dad. Oh, son, I think you've missed a spot. Oh, Dad. Tweep, tweep, tweep. Open window. Hey! Give that back, you little shit! Ow! My eye! Don't poke it with a screwdriver, don't! Okay, so we got these instructions. We're just gonna fly through them. And that's it. Anyway, we got some instructions for how to paint the body and where the decals all go. You know, when you click and subscribe to my channel, one of your competitors loses a skill modeling contest. Cheers. Thank you so very much for watching. If you have been, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you again soon in the next one. Bye bye.